a prayer.
My name is Rabina Corton. I'm Australian born. I've been a Buddhist for 40 years. I became a Buddhist because I wanted to understand the way the world is and understand suffering and happiness and what makes things tick. So I was a Catholic first, and then I kind of gave up God and got into boys, was a bit of a hippie in the 60s, and then I kind of became a radical lefty activist in London in the 60s, and then I became a feminist, and then I wanted something spiritual again after about 10 years. So I bumped into these Tibetan Buddhists, and that's 40 years ago. So far so good. Why would a person want to use Buddhist ideas in their life? Because you don't have to be a Buddhist to do that, you know. So it's good to remember that Buddha's not a creator. So that means it's not a belief system in the usual way we think of religion. So Buddha's this guy, you know, who came out of India 2,500 years ago, who came out of this amazing tradition of Indians, who were the ones who actually, these great thinkers whose main job was investigating the nature of self, these marvelous philosophers and thinkers. And they were the ones who created this extraordinary psychological skill that the world knows, broadly speaking, as mindfulness meditation or concentration meditation. So what they did with this skill, they investigated the nature of their own mind internally, not the brain, but the actual cognitive process. So really, I like to say that, you know, Buddha's expertise is the mind. So to be a Buddhist means you've got to work on your mind. Take away all the religious packaging, all the rituals, all the mantras, all the sitting there with your eyes closed, all the nuns' robes. The bottom line for being a Buddhist is to become intimately familiar with your own mind, learn to distinguish in this chaos of our head, you know, where there are thoughts all day, to distinguish between the neurotic ones, the ones that Buddha says are the cause of our suffering and drag us down and make us harm others, and the positive ones, which are the ones that make us happy and cause us to benefit others. And Buddha's own finding from his own experience, utilising these amazing techniques, is that all these neurotic ones, anger and attachment and fear and jealousy and depression, are not at the core of our being. We can actually not just lessen them, but eventually long term we can rid the mind completely of these. So essentially, as Lama Yeshe puts it, being your own therapist, that's being a Buddhist.